Hey guys, welcome to another movie review. Today I'm talking about a sequel to a film that I actually really like. It's a sequel to a film that's very important to my childhood. It did finally come out recently on Paramount Plus, roughly around Thanksgiving time, I would say. Apologize I didn't get this review out a little bit more timely, like some of these other reviews you're probably seeing here on my YouTube channel. But I am reviewing Good Burger 2 for you guys today. Like I said, in 1997, I did see this film in the theater. I was a big fan of it. Big fan of the Kenan and Kel show back in the day, as well as all that, and a lot of the Nickelodeon shows. I even have a Good Burger poster out on my wall on one of the rooms here in my apartment. I'm a huge fan of this movie. I even had the orange VHS tape back in the day for rewatching it when I was a kid on VHS. So I'm a huge fan of that first Good Burger film. So I am excited to kind of review this film for you guys today. So in Good Burger 2, you guys, this is a Paramount Plus exclusive. So if you do not have a subscription to that, that is unfortunately the only way to watch this movie. But basically, for the plot for this movie, we find Ed and Dexter again 26 years after the first movie. It's kind of hard to believe that it's already been 26 years. And Ed is a manager at Good Burger now. He's not like the main manager, but he's one of the managers. And he's doing good. He doesn't want to franchise out Good Burger. He thinks Good Burger should just have one location. That's one and that's it. And people are constantly after him about franchising it and making more money. And Ed doesn't seem very interested in that. He seems very happy with where he is and doesn't want to franchise it out. But meanwhile, Dexter's trying to start an inventor career, and it's not going well. He gets fired from the job that he basically is representing while being an inventor, and so he needs a job again. And so he talks to Ed and was like, "Hey, is it okay if I work at Good Burger again?" And so he does that for a little while. And what he also convinces Ed to do is to finally franchise out Good Burger. He thinks there's a really good deal that one of these people that wants to franchise it out has for them. He works for a company called Mega Corp, and basically Dexter thinks it's a good deal, and so he convinces Ed to do it. And so immediately right away they find out there's things in the contract that they signed to franchise it out that did not work out at all. Good Burger employees are losing their jobs. There is AI robots that are going to basically be functioning these franchised out restaurants. So there's a bunch of stuff that Ed and Dexter are not happy with. So throughout the rest of the movie, they have to figure out how to move around their contract, how to get rid of these franchised out restaurants, make sure that Good Burger, if whether there is just one location or more of them, does have real human employees running the restaurants. And so over the course of this movie, Ed and Dexter have to figure out this mess that they kind of got into and make sure that Good Burger is back in the place that it should be. But overall, guys, I thought this movie was okay. There's things about Good Burger 2 that I really like. I really admire. I was really happy with as a Good Burger fan of the original. But for every compliment I could give this movie, there's just as many negatives. There is a lot of problems with this movie. The third act of this movie, I don't know what happened in the editing room or in the script department, but the third act of this film is a kind of a complete disaster. And there's a lot of things that I'm going to talk about here in the next couple minutes that show how much I liked about this new Good Burger sequel, but things about the new Good Burger sequel that unfortunately will not make it live up to the prestige value that a lot of Nickelodeon fans, such as myself, saw in that first Good Burger movie. So for my positives and negatives of this movie, you guys, it is great to see Kenan and Kel back on the big screen again, or in this case, the small screen again with it being on streaming. But it is great to see these two men working again. I know for the longest time they were kind of butting heads with each other. There was a whole thing where Kenan Thompson wouldn't let Kel Mitchell be on SNL with him and stuff like that. So there was a lot of drama for a while. Kenan did find, a little bit more success than Kel Mitchell did, but it is great to see that the two of them are back together again. They're working on a project again, whether it is a Good Burger sequel or not. I would love to see them do more stuff together again. But it is great to see them play Ed and Dexter again. It was just great to see their camaraderie and their screen chemistry back together on the screen again. It was just great to see the two of them, and they still have it after all these years. They have great screen chemistry, and they really know their characters really well ever since 1997. I also really like the new Good Burger employees. I was kind of worried at first. At first, I'm like, okay, well, that's kind of a ripoff of Abe Vigoda, and that's kind of a ripoff of that person from the first movie. But after a while, I kind of warmed up to them. There is a character that is supposed to be Dexter's niece. She gets a lot to do in this movie, and I thought she had a lot of charisma and a lot of personality to her character. There's a character that's a kind of called Ed too around the Good Burger restaurant, and he is one of the sons of Ed. So we do kind of get to see his family and kind of what he's been up to with the family over the years. There's an old lady character that's very much in the spirit of Abe Vigoda that I warmed up to. There's a lot of funny jokes involving whether she's sleeping or they're worried that she might have died early. And there's even a character that I actually could relate to because he's this young kid that runs the whole Good Burger restaurant. He is a step up above Ed, and he still has to call his mom when he makes it to work and all this other stuff. I was like, oh God, I've been there before. And so you just really feel for this young kid because he's basically running the whole restaurant, and there's still things he has to do, like ride a bike to work, call his parents telling them he made it to work, and made sure that he's feeling okay and all that other stuff. So there's a lot of funny stuff like there that I personally could relate to. I don't know if anybody watching this felt the same way on those scenes, but I did really feel for these new employees. I thought they were a lot of fun. Probably one of the better aspects of the script is they did find some fun characters to get reintroduced to, since some of the original cast members from the first Good Burger are either no longer acting or have since passed away. I think the actor who played Spatch is no longer with us and stuff like that. So great to see some great new Good Burger employees join the crew, and I thought character-wise a lot of them were a lot of fun. There's also a lot of fun celebrity cameos. So for those who have seen the first Good Burger, I would say there's two characters in particular, or actually, no, I would say three characters in particular, where if you've seen the first Good Burger and you love it and you kind of know it from beginning to end, and there's a lot of other like everyday celebrity cameos, like Pete Davidson is in this and stuff like that too. But a lot of characters where if you've seen the first Good Burger, you're like, oh, okay, that was that person and that in the first movie, and that's what that person was supposed to be in the first movie and stuff like that. So fun to see a lot of that. It isn't just stupid little cameos. Some of them do get to kind of get a little bit more to do than you would think. And it was great to see them. It was great to see some of the original All That alumni in this too. There's two characters in particular where they were from All That and they were from the first Good Burger and stuff like that. So it was great to see them play their characters again. So a lot of fun celebrity cameos, and it was great to see most of them throughout the course of this movie. I also like kind of the idea that the first two acts of this movie are really kind of about us adjusting to the audience along with Ed and Dexter. What's kind of a typical day at Good Burger? What are some things that Ed does that really kind of irritate people when they're ordering food? And what are some things that Dexter does on the job that are both kind of nice but kind of annoying probably to his coworkers and stuff? So it was kind of great to see us digest and kind of get warmed up to being in Good Burger again. So I liked how the script kind of allowed us to do that. Not to say that the first film didn't do that, but it was kind of great to see kind of a typical day in the life at Good Burger, specifically in the first two acts of this movie. So I thought that was kind of a nice, warm approach to get us acquainted to the whole Good Burger restaurant again. And it was also great to see Ed's family and home, very much in the spirit of what you saw Ed's home look like at the beginning of the first Good Burger film. Great to see kind of him having like the burger bed and the restaurant-themed walls and just all the stuff that you would imagine Ed's home looking like, especially all these years later now that he has his own family. And it was just great to see his family. Like, it was great to see kind of his wife always dressed up in a Good Burger uniform outfit like he is. His children dressed up in Good Burger employee outfits and stuff. And it was just a lot of fun to see kind of what the writers and the director of this movie chose to kind of make look what Ed's family looked like and what his home looked like after he was done with Good Burger for the day and stuff like that. So fun to see all that. I thought that was a lot of fun when they got around to those scenes. For my negatives of Good Burger 2, though, like I mentioned, the third act of this movie is a complete disaster. It's both a problem of it's a retread of the first movie. It's sloppy. It feels lazy. It feels cheap. It does not kind of resolve anything really. I mean, it's just kind of everything you would imagine the film eventually resolving. I did not like the third act of this movie. I would say the second they're trying to figure out how to get rid of this whole Mega Corp contract is where the film really falls off the rails. That's really when I kind of got really irritated with the movie, and it does kind of show. I think this film was entirely filmed over the course of summer of 2023, and you can kind of see that. It does feel a little rushed. I don't know if the actors and writers strike could have impacted that or not, but it does feel very rushed. It does feel like a good solid reshoot or rewrite of some of these scenes would have benefited this movie a lot. Did not like the third act of this movie. Not for me at all. I also thought Dexter's return to Good Burger felt very rushed. It literally is one or two bad things happen at his inventor job, and he's literally right back at Good Burger. So I thought that was very rushed. They really don't set it up very well. I thought more time with Dexter's problems and kind of what he's been going through with his sister and his family. I thought more of that could have been explored. They really kind of don't go over that very well. That aspect of the film was kind of disappointing to me too. And for the most part, this screenplay does feel very rushed. It was great to see those celebrity cameos, but I'll be honest with you, it does feel very rushed. It does feel like, hey, do this little quick little scene for us and stuff like that. It does feel like Paramount kind of just rushed this thing to the deadline, which clearly was Thanksgiving for this year, and it just felt very rushed. It felt like there could have been a lot more done with it than what they chose to do with it. So for me personally, a very much rushed screenplay that was kind of very disappointing to witness uncover as I was watching this movie. And overall, I thought the overall movie just felt like a rushed retread of the first film. It's basically just they signed this contract with Megacorp, and it's the whole Mondo Burger, save the restaurant, save the employees, save our jobs kind of plot again. And unfortunately, the first Good Burger already did that very, very well. They had the whole thing with Demented Hills and all that other stuff too. And this film just doesn't quite capture that same magic again. It just feels like a rushed retread of the first movie, unfortunately. And a lot of the jokes do fall very flat in this movie. I would say in the third act in particular that I was mentioning earlier with the whole Megacorp breaking the contract stuff, it does feel very flat in some of those moments. I just really did not laugh at all. I did not laugh the way I did in the first Good Burger film or in the first half of this movie, really. So some of the humor in this is a little flat, unfortunately. And for me personally, I don't know if everybody else is feeling this way. I feel the whole evil AI thing is really getting old very fast. Unfortunately, Good Burger 2 is another victim of movies that are portraying this theme. I get it. I know there's a lot of things with the actors and writers strikes and stuff like that, and a lot of people are worried about their jobs and stuff. But for me personally, I just really think this whole evil AI thing is really getting old very fast, and my computer's just being weird here. Let's just take care of that. There we go. But yeah, I think the whole evil AI thing is really getting old really fast. I know the new Mission Impossible film did that recently over the summer, and for me personally, I'm just kind of sick of it. I want to move on, and I think the whole evil AI thing is just getting a little ridiculous with making its way into almost every movie now. So for me personally, Good Burger 2, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I think there's wonderful things about it. I think there's good things about it. But there's a lot of things wearing it down. Like the third act of this film is inexcusably bad. Dexter's return to Good Burger is very rushed to me. The overall screenplay felt rushed and like a retread of the first movie. There is a lot of flat humor that doesn't completely work here. And I think the whole evil AI thing, like I said, is really outstayed its welcome in the movies. So 7 out of 10 for me. If you're a huge fan of the first Good Burger film, I think it's worth that one-time watch. So if you're subscribed to Paramount Plus already and you haven't seen it yet, and if you really like the first Good Burger film like I did, it's not the worst way to go. But do go into it knowing that there is a lot of problems. There is a lot of stuff in it that's probably going to irritate you the same way it did with me. And unfortunately, I just can't see myself rewatching this ever again. It's just a very rushed movie that feels like it could have benefited from another rewrite or so. So 7 out of 10 for me. It's okay. Only watch Good Burger 2 if you're a fan of the first film. If you did not like the first Good Burger film at all, I think you could skip this altogether. 7 out of 10 for me. It's okay. Go into it with caution, though.